As a great narcissist, Rachel Meghan Markle will never take accountability for anything she has failed to do, for her failure, for anything that could ever remotely imply that she is less than average, not smart, not professional, because it has to be somebody else's fault. That's what it boils down to, Rachel Meghan Markle. And this is what we're going to get into because, of course, now the latest victim has fallen. And she is poking a bear because this is a bear that knows where her bodies are buried. This is the bear. This is the kind of bear that you really want to just, you know what, just stay asleep. But no, Meghan Markle in her latest move has just secured what could possibly be a lawyer writing a book about his client. And let's get into this. Just for once, it would be so great if the mainstream media would publish a story or would do due diligence before publishing these kinds of news. For example, here, As Ever, based in Shenzhen, China, is a clothing company which supplies popular high street stores like H&M. In their response, USPTO said the marks are identical in sound and virtually identical in appearance and are thus confusingly similar for the purposes of determining likelihood of confusion. The trademark office cited clothing category class 25 and sent the trademark application back to the Duchess of Sussex's legal team. The paperwork stated registration of the applied for mark is refused because of a likelihood of confusion. And this is where it drives me crazy. We're talking about the new 157th relaunch of Meghan Markle rebrand of the first brand that never launched. This is where it gets really interesting. 6 months later, in January 2024, Meghan's lawyer filed a revised application which removed any mention of clothing, and her trademark application for As Ever was approved. Keep in mind, this is very important, the date. In January 2024, Meghan's lawyers filed a revised application which removed any mention of clothing, and her trademark application for As Ever was approved. Was it? What I don't get is the lies of the mainstream media. I don't know if it's laziness. I don't know if it's incompetence, just as Rachel Meghan Markle. I don't know if they're receiving the articles that Rachel Meghan Markle sends them and they just publish it without doing the most basic, verification of that this of a person from a person that is a known liar. The whole world by now know that we all know she's a liar. We all know that this woman, how do we know Meghan Markle is lying? Because her mouth opens. That's how much we know that this woman is lying. And yet, if they receive something, I'm pretty sure that their publicist sent them this part of the article stating, just like Meghan Markle stated in that minute and a half video that she had secured her brand As Ever since 2022, but decided to use Arrow, which doesn't make any sense. Because if you had secured a brand already since 2022, why would you be looking to trademark another one in 2023 and use it? Why not use the 2022 brand that you're now launching? Is it because you didn't do due diligence? What about your team? And is that why now she is blaming her lawyer? Is that why now Meghan Markle comes out and, does that video? Because we know that Netflix is not making absolutely any advertising for her. Nowhere is it being promoted, that little dumbass video that she did of a minute and a half. It's nowhere advertised on any of the Netflix platforms. They have not advertised nor verified that indeed they're partnered with Meghan Markle. We know that that their contract is coming up for renewal mid-March 2025 because they signed a 5-year deal with Netflix. So we know that Meghan Markle, either she lied to Netflix, because she did. Her show FYI, her cooking show was supposed to have aired last year in August because it was supposed to go with American Riviera Orchard, which she had assured, just like she assured in that minute and a half, that she had already secured the As Ever brand and the whole internet. We know that that is not the case. So then the cooking show, which was supposed to have launched in August last year, advertising for her, for her utensils, for everything, it's gone. It's gone. They couldn't do it. So then she says, just give me some more time because I just had some roadblocks, but we're clearing it out. It's going to be fine. Let's postpone the show. They kept postponing it. And then the worst part of it all is that she used and exploited the fires, the Los Angeles fire in California, in order to justify postponing the show once again, when in reality, what she's trying to do is salvage it and try to see if she had secured a brand or a trademark. But as ever, like everything this woman does, everything is a failure because if anything, it comes across that she's not professional, that she is not competent, that she is ignorant, or she doesn't listen to the advisors or the lawyer's advice. And this is just as bad as being an idiot, incompetent, and ignorant. Now, I remember I told you to keep in mind January 2024, how they applied and they changed everything, right? How everything was peachy, how her brand had been accepted. All you need to do, and why I'm going to tell you that her response to her lawyer and to Netflix was to fire her lawyer. And you're going to say, Paula, what are you talking about? Okay, this is the application mark. And here you can see As Ever. This is, you see, this is directly from there. There's a lot of information you will get here, right? There's a lot of information you will get here. And you will get information as to when they received last information. Until yesterday, it was November 6th, notice of approval of extension request. And what do we see now? February 17th, change of owner address received. And then we have here, applicant and the correspondence changes, non-responsive entered, which means that nobody replied. Change of address of attorney representative received. You have attorney representative revoked and or appointed. Change of correspondence received. And then withdrawal of attorney received. And here we have the new attorney, which it seems to be Marjorie Witter Norman in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So this is Meghan's response to changing or for her trademark issues. We know that it's something that it's I'm asking you, where does it say here? It says that in January 2024 they sent something. Yes, they did. Office action received, correspondence received, correspondence entered, but it doesn't say that it was approved because we know that this As Ever is still pending. They have barely assigned an examiner to look at this. We know that the China company is also has objected. We know that there's a photography that she has rejected, and there's something I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions because there's so much you can gather from here. Okay, you're gonna see what this woman is trying to use or what she's planning to use in for this brand, for registering this brand, right? Because we need to know what she's going to do with it, don't we? We can see when the application was entered. I mean, here we know what's going on. So why is the Daily Mail failing to do the most basic thing? I really don't get it. These are the goods and services. And I have a couple of questions for you. Okay? Look what she's trying to do. Body lotions, that's absolutely not a problem. Everything is perfect. Shower gel, everything is fantastic. But then I thought that Meghan had already a production company called Archwell Production for featuring film, everything under the sun that had to do with audiovisual series, web series, recorded stage performances, video podcast. I mean, everything. Audio Archwell has all of that. So why is she branding another company if she already has Archwell Audio? I mean, that's just one of the questions that I have for you right now, because I mean, you would think that she doesn't need to do that, right? Because look, she's trading everything under the sun, but she already has that. She already has that, guys. She already has that with, as I said, with Archwell. And yet, here we are again, trying to get another company. Is it because she is trying to separate herself from Archwell Productions because that'll be part of Harry in case of divorce? Because it doesn't make any sense why have two companies with separate names, one solely under her name. One is absolutely solely under her name, and the other one is in common with Harry. I really don't get it. I mean, what do you guys think of this? Another thing that's very interesting in this application is isn't she partner with Clever Brands, the coffee? And yet she wants to sell coffee herself with as ever coffee, tea, herbal infusions. So what does that mean? She's going to be competing against a company she has invested in? Everything this woman does is absolutely failure as ever. And what is worse, guys, is that the lawyer is not taking it down because she has placed the blame on the lawyer. And we know that this lawyer has been with her for a long time. He set up Doria's elderly. She has set up every one of Meghan Markle's shady businesses in Delaware. He knows where her bodies are buried. So the question, and he's not going to take it sitting down. Make no mistake that this man is going to speak out. He's furious. He's livid. And she didn't even tell him. She did it behind his back. He gets to find out after the fact. There were no discussions. Just like Meghan Markle, he was Markle. He got ghosted. This woman doesn't burn bridges. They get blown up. There's no way back from this one. And she is stepping on the wrong feet right now. And let's not forget what I told you in one of my videos, that you should never step on anybody's toes, because you don't know if the toes you're stepping on today are attached to the ass you're going to have to kiss tomorrow, especially if those toes have helped you bury a lot of bodies and they know where they are. Isn't this incredible? So why is the Daily Mail claiming that the brand was approved in January 2024? I mean, talk about shady journalism. And talk about Meghan blaming everybody else, because of course it's the lawyer's fault. She can have hundreds of lawyers, but if she doesn't listen to their advice, it'll always be the same result. Please leave me your thoughts.